Hi, everyone. This is Heather Vickery. Welcome to Brave in Action, my weekly live show where I spend 10 to 15 minutes with you talking about different ways that you can put bravery into action. And today we're going to talk about creating a legacy with intention. But before we do that, some of you are new to the Brave on Purpose Collective and maybe new to my YouTube channel. And so I just want to introduce myself for a minute. I'm Heather Vickery. I'm a success and leadership coach, a speaker, an author, a mother, a social justice activist, an avid reader, a musical theater fan. But one thing that we all have in common, hi, Rebecca, is that I decided through very convoluted steps, because this is life, that I wanted to lead a life that was for me and not for everybody else. I wanted to live in bravery and not fear. And so the whole platform for everything I do, from my coaching to speaking to writing, training, anything I do, is to help you understand that brave is always greater than fearless. Fearlessness is not the goal. Fearlessness is reckless, and it means you're not being thoughtful and you're not paying attention. Bravery, on the other hand, can only be enacted when we get honest about our fears, when we take action on those fears, and we use that knowledge to leverage ourselves into intentional bravery. Because what we know for sure is that when we choose bravely on purpose, we choose bigger, we win bigger, and it's contagious. And so my goal is to help you embrace everyday bravery. What I'm going to be doing every week for the next year is talking about a particular topic that I actually talk about in my upcoming book, Fuck Fearless, Making the Brave Leap. Yes, I just went all the way there with the language, folks. Why did I do that? Well, because that's just who I am. I'm a big fan of the word fuck, to be honest. And I'll give credit where credit is due. I don't know if my friend Yale is here or not, but she's a copywriter that I've worked with in the past. And she said, why don't you go all the way in? Why don't you just call it Fuck Fearless? And I loved that idea because I want you to do that. I don't want you to be fearless. I want you to be brave. And my book that comes out on October 28th, we talk about what it means to be brave. I break down the Brave Method, which is my coaching platform for helping people step up into their lives intentionally and thoughtfully. It's a strategic and creative method for problem solving and planning to build the life of your dreams and one that you love. I see some of my clients here who are members of my Intentionally Brave Entrepreneurs program. Hello, friends. So happy to have you here. Today, we're going to talk about creating legacy with intention. Now, legacy is a big word, right? What does that even mean? Do you even think you have a legacy? I want to even start there because I think sometimes we imagine that the idea of a legacy is only for celebrities or rich people or, whatever. Maybe not for you. Those of you who are in the room right now, have you ever thought about your legacy? What does that mean, right? And I dig in on this pretty hardcore in the beginning of the book, which is our legacy is what we leave behind. How are we remembered, right? We want to talk about creating a life that is yours, that is honest and authentic, and that helps you achieve your goals in life. And that when you're gone, it's what people remember you for and by. One of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou, and I may not get it right now, because I don't do these scripted. I have the prompt, but then I just speak from my heart, is that people will not remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. That's your legacy, folks, is how do you make people feel? What do they think of when they think of you? My hope is that my legacy is that for generations to come, when people go out and do brave things, they think, oh man, yeah, this makes me think of Heather Vickery. She would like this. She'd be proud of this. What do you want your legacy to be? And part of that, it isn't just building something that you know you want. I want you to be really aware that if we're not paying attention, if we're not thoughtful, if we're not careful and planning, we may in fact create a legacy that we don't want to leave behind. And I know there are a lot of people that I work with, some of the folks in the room right now, I can see your names that are here, who are products of a parental legacy that isn't something that they want. Do we want to be known for guilting and shaming? Do we want to be known for being narcissistic? Do we want to be known for never taking action? Do we want to be known for self-sacrificing so that we can do for others all the time, but never prove that we're worth doing for ourselves? We don't want to be known for those things, right? No, none of you do. You all heard that and you went, oh, and if it resonated with you, if you thought I was talking about you, I might have been, but I'll bet it connected with somebody else in the audience as well. So if we aren't careful, we're going to leave a legacy that we don't approve of, that we don't want. And I like to think about the invisible thread between us and the people around us. We're always leaving an impact. Every conversation we have, every encounter, every engagement leaves an impact. That impact leads towards the legacy that we are leaving. And so what I would love to see you do for a brave in action prompt, a way to step into your brave, is to be really conscious of what conversations you're going into and what do you want from those. It doesn't mean you can't be off the fly and meet new people and have fun. Of course you can and you do, but be thoughtful about what you say and how you are in those conversations, and be kind and be a good listener and follow up. But also know that you are making an impact. No matter what you do and no matter how aware of it you are at every moment making an impact, right? So a silly example is that when my youngest daughter was really little, she would never answer yes to a question. She would say, sure, sure, sure. Now I wonder if some of my clients in this room are giggling right now because I was commenting on it to a friend. She's 8 now. This is probably when she was 2 or 3. And my friend was like, well, yes, she does that because you do that. I'm like, wait, what? I do that? And sure enough, I do that. When I mean yes, I go, oh yeah, sure, right? It doesn't matter. That's not the kind of impact that I care about making. It's fine if I say yes or if I say sure. But what it did was awaken me to just how much of an impact I was leaving on my kiddo and again, on everyone around us. Another really great example, one that I actually talk about in the book, is that when I was first starting my coaching business and I didn't know if I knew what I was doing. I'd been an entrepreneur for 18 years and I had great connections and great networks, but I hadn't really put all of my coaching training and my coaching skills into practice. And one very kind mentor said, why don't you do a test study workshop? Invite people that you respect and admire to come into the same room with you and go through all of your coaching protocols and see how you can support them and how you can help them. And that was a terrifying endeavor. I don't know if you guys can resonate with that or not, but I said, okay, yes, I will, because one of the ways to shut down our limiting voices or whatever it is that tells us we can't do something is to just fucking do it, right? And so I knew that if I could go in there and I could be honest, we're going to learn this together. We're going to do this together. I want to see what resonates and what doesn't. I want to support you in any way I can and make a plan to produce my own workshops, which I've now done dozens of times since then, and was way before I created the Brave Method, but it was the foundation for the Brave Method. So I invited 8 people that I consider industry leaders, pretty incredible people in the community that I live in and that I was working in at the time. And I invited them to spend the day with me. Everyone I invited said yes, which was my first good gut sign that what I was doing was valuable and worthy, and that I could and should be leaning into coaching. And I had worked hard to create an outline and a plan for the day and exercises for them. And we went through all of it, and it was a great day. 2 of the people in the room ended up being one-on-one clients. All of them have continued to support and love my work. But a couple of years later, I was at a fundraising event. And one of the gentlemen who had been at that very first workshop was at the fundraiser. And he pulled me aside and he said, I don't know if you know this or not, but that day changed my life and it changed the way I do my job. He is the CEO of a large catering company here in Chicago, and very well known, and he's been very successful, but it was always running around like a chicken with his head cut off. His follow-up wasn't great. He was stretched too thin. And what he and I worked on specifically, as simple as it sounds, is setting boundaries and managing expectations, communicating clearly when people will get proposals, right? Setting all of those boundaries and expectations so that everyone knows what is happening when. You're all on the same page. Boundaries are amazing. We're going to talk more about boundaries in a few weeks when we do this Brave in Action. But he implemented just a few of the systems and strategies that I recommended. And he really changed his mindset around being available all the time. Instead, he created a schedule and communicated clearly when he would be available and when they should expect things and when he would be responding. And by implementing that, it completely shifted the way his business ran. His clients were happier. They felt more listened to. He had more free time. He felt less stressed, right? Less stretched out, all of that. And I didn't even know. 2 years had gone by, and I didn't even know that that one little section of an all-day workshop had created such an impact for him. That is a legacy that I'm leaving. That impact is a legacy that I'm leaving. And I was so touched and honored that he shared it with me. And I hope that for any of you out there, if somebody has touched your life, if somebody has done something that really resonates or makes you smile or feel happy or connected, or you learned something, go tell them. Because that's part of how we know if we're creating an intentional legacy, if we are building it the way we want it. Give that feedback, celebrate with them, give them something to be grateful for, which is the fact that they have made an impact on your life. And be thoughtful of the impact and the legacy that you might be leaving that you don't want. Are you too busy? Do you work all the time, but you don't, make cookies with the kids or eat well because you don't have time to plan it out, or you never go to the theater and it's your favorite thing? Whatever it is, be thoughtful and intentional about what you want to leave and what you don't want to leave. And if you do an inventory of how you're spending your time, your days, your weeks, your months, your years, if you inventory that and you think, I'm spending all of my time doing these things and wow, I don't want to be known for these things, you have the power to change it. You are the only one that can change it. You have all the control. And remember that empowerment is an inside job. You are the only one that can empower yourself. Nobody can do that for you. We can guide, we can lead, we can mentor, we can inspire, but you have to do the work of empowering yourself. And by choosing to do that work, you will then be leaving the legacy that you intend to leave. All right, folks, I am so grateful that I got to spend some time with you here today. I'm going to run through the comments quickly. Kristen's loving this. Thank you. Samantha says that she does not want to be known for a lot of those icky things that I mentioned, but she does want to be known for advocacy and acceptance and speaking up. Yes. So if we want to be known for those things, we want to make sure that we're thoughtful and intentional about making sure those are the spaces that we're spending our time in. Rebecca loved it. Thank you, Rebecca. BJ is here and says that, yes, tell someone that they're valuable in your life or that you appreciate them. It is so important to do that. I appreciate all of you. I'm grateful that you chose to spend a little bit of time here with us. Let your friends know that I go live every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m., both here in the Brave on Purpose Collective and also on YouTube. Anyone can join Brave on Purpose. Everyone is welcome. It's for a community of people who are ready to step out of fear and into bravery in every possible way. Invite them. Come hang out with me. Again, 15 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes max. Every Wednesday, I'll drop a little bit of goodness and love. I'm so excited to be here with you and to be part of your brave journey. Let me know how you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you're out doing the brave thing. I'll see you next Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. Central. This is Heather Vickery, reminding you today and every day to go out and choose bravely. Bye.